I don't know, but it sounds nice. I like what I'm hearing from Kodak. I
Man,
usually don't like his projects.
Speaking of music, so Chris Brown versus Usher. Y'all
Usher.
two, y'all two, Jeff and Albert, Usher
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Wait,
Kyron,
are we all Usher?
No
Wait,
way.
Kyron?
CB. I'm gonna
Y'all
go.
smoking.
I'm gonna go on Kyron's side. I'm gonna go CB.
So it'll be 2-2. Even though
So
that's not the reality, you're on the
so I,
Usher side.
so I reached
Exactly.
out. I reached out to How you gonna tell me what side I'm on?
That's a long say. Y'all
He reached
smoking.
out to
I
he reached out
remember
to
vividly you said, Kyron, just give it up, bro.
he
And Kyron
did.
waved
I
the
said
white flag.
I
He
said give it
wasn't
up
saying it in
because
that sense.
he made it seem like it was a no brainer, and I said no, it's really close.
He reached out to Usher.
So I actually reached out to somebody that posted Chris Brown. And when we know who the like we know her pretty well. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm gonna keep her as anonymous. But I asked her if she liked CB because she posted him. She was like, nah, she just respects him as like an artist and entertainer. I was like, do you think he's better than Usher? And she said, uh, if Usher was born around the same time, Chris Brown would be better than Usher. And she thinks even then that Chris Brown is better. And I told her like,
But we,
got you guys' stance on the debate. I told her
Mhm.
that Albert thought that Chris Brown's trash. Jeff
What?
likes yeah, Jeff like Usher as well, and Kyron thinks that Chris Brown is better. And she
She
said
think
that
he's better than Michael Jackson.
she she said that Albert's always been a hater. Jeff looks like he listens to Usher during his alone time, and Kyron is a smart man.
Oh my gosh.
So
Hey.
First of all, let me stop her right there.
No,
How?
man. These are facts.
Nah, man, because she's trying to say that if Usher was born around the same time as Chris Brown would be better. How can you say that? Because you don't know what Usher would sound like if he was making like music nowadays in this style.
yeah, we heard it. That what's that project called? A
Oh yeah, he did.
Nah, man.
He should have
Nah,
left that
man.
alone. Alone.
No.
What I
Nah,
tell
man. You
her,
can't. You can't count that.
I did tell her that I can see Jeff listening to Usher alone in his house. And what's What's up, Podsters? Welcome back to episode 18.
Ooh.
I am one fourth of Pod Ties, Dylan, and these are my brothers slash co-hosts, Jeff, aka Usher, Raymond.
Usher, Usher.
Oh no.
Call me
No.
USHERRAYMOND.
Indeed.
Albert, the original,
What that spell?
and the one and only Kiren. You asked
Yes,
what that
sir.
spells?
I did.
I thought he was kidding.
I wasn't because I don't know what y'all said. I listened
Man,
like
y'all
halfway.
know CHRISBROWN.
You just did it for him.
It don't sound right. It don't flow right.
Because it's breezy.
Oh gosh.
Chris Brown is in the building. That's all you have to say. Yeah. Oof.
Hey.
That song is a banger.
It was.
For our first time listeners and viewers, thank you for joining the ties. And if you're returning, we appreciate you as well for giving us another chance. We hope that you stay permanently. Keep them ties strong out there. We're not gonna waste any more time because there's a lot to dive into today. A lot of sports topics. The Masters are going on. Tiger Woods is tied in fifth place right now. A lot of NBA trade rumors, a lot of buzz. that's normal in the offseason, but it seems like there's a lot of players that want to move on to a different team. So we'll dive into that as well. What else is going on? Thursday night football, Indianapolis versus Tennessee. Great way to end the week and get into the weekend. But we can't start the weekend without pick six. Week
Let's
8.
go.
Week 8, I have this picture right here. Even though Georgia lost, they did get a pick six on Trask, the QB from Florida. Eric Stokes, the cornerback, junior cornerback, got a pick six. Third interception of the season. Second time that he scored a pick six, so he's a pretty good cornerback. Still took the L, but I thought I would show that picture. Now, pick six, Mr. Pick Six himself, Kiren, go ahead and tell us why you chose these teams to win their respective matchups.
Let me bless y'all with these
Kiren.
picks real quick. What happened?
We got the same picks.
So,
Oh, see, now you're gonna follow suit. I see where you go.
so either way, Kiren is still Mr. Pick Six next week.
Yes, sir. All right, man. For this first pick, I don't have an explanation for it. I just going with USC. But we got Northwestern versus Purdue. I went with Northwestern. It's not going to be a blowout, but I do think that Northwestern is going to capitalize on their offensive opportunities. Then we have SMU versus Tulsa. Going with SMU. They're second in the AAC in total offense, and then they're putting up numbers like 40 points a game. So I don't think Tulsa is going to keep up with them boys. Let's see. We have the Chargers versus the Dolphins. Battle of the two young quarterbacks. They're both gotten off to a strong start, but I'm taking the Dolphins to win this game. Bengals versus the Steelers. Thumbs down.
Yes.
Tweaking. You are tweaking. I'm obviously going with the Steelers. Seahawks versus the Rams. I'm actually going with the Rams. The Rams are a defensive team. If the Seahawks, if they can't score, they're not going to win. We all know that they're not going to win on the defensive side because their defense is doo-doo cheeks. So that's why I went with the Rams.
Doo-doo cheeks. All right, Jeff, can we just skip you because y'all had the same picks?
Might as well.
Now go ahead and give your explanations.
Well, I'll just run through these real quick. So pretty much USC versus Arizona. Arizona, they're not really that good. So
I didn't have an explanation either, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just not that good.
They haven't even played a game yet. It's their first game of the season.
Yeah, it's their first game of the season, but I just looked at their defense and everything, and I just don't see anything happening.
They're 0-0. They never touched the field. They ain't that good.
They're a 500 team.
The practice tape, they look garbage.
Anyways, Northwestern versus Purdue. Northwestern's going to take that. I just feel like they have a little bit more experience since I think they're like a game ahead of Purdue. And then SMU, I mean, if they just had too much firepower, the other team's not going to be able to keep up. Now, back to the NFL. This game here, it was a toss-up for me. I already didn't know which way to go. I thought I was going to be the underdog and pick the Dolphins, but it looks like Kiren's riding my coattail, but that's okay.
I'm in first place. You riding mine.
No, but I just feel like the Chargers, I feel like they have the firepower to win this game, but they don't know how to win just yet. So I just feel like, and then Tua, they have the momentum, so they're going to pretty much ride the wave and get the dub. Steelers versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati might come with the upset, but I doubt it. I want them to come up with the upset, but Steelers are going to go ahead and knock that out. And then we have the Rams. Yeah, I just don't believe in the Seahawks. They let me down last time against the Bills, so
That's
I'm gonna
facts.
go with the Rams.
Okay. You and Albert finally have different picks this week.
Cause
Yeah, but now it's me and Kyron.
yeah, well, we all know I'm about to be probably what Mr. Pick Three. Cause I'm gonna be in second place. So, but you got three ranked teams versus three unranked teams here. Like Della said, Arizona hasn't played. And then USC, you got that momentum for playing so many games this season. There's no way a team that hasn't played should come in and whoop you, especially if you're number 20 ranked. Northwestern versus Purdue, like Jeff said, Northwestern doing great. Well, they're doing better than Purdue is. But yeah, I got Northwestern winning this one. SMU, they do have all their firepower. Um, they got spanked a couple weeks ago, but that I think they got this win. It's too easy against Tulsa. We got the Chargers and the Dolphins. This is a great matchup, two rookie matchups with Tua and Herbert. Um, but I got Herbert taking a win. He's been playing great, pretty much lights out this season. So I think they got the edge this season against the Dolphins. So I don't know what y'all was thinking. Um,
Did they lose to like the Browns or something? Who they lose to? They lose to
They lost to
Everybody.
everybody. They don't know how to win yet, man.
They lose to themselves,
ooh,
Yeah.
the Chargers.
uh, they going as the Dolphins.
They play the Dolphins. They're 5-3. The Chargers
Yeah,
2-6.
but
exactly what you
They play
spoken.
they play well until the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and then their battery is low.
that is
They
true.
need to charge it. Carry
Carry
on.
on, Albert.
Yeah. The Bengals versus Steelers. Like Jeff said, I wanted to change my pick on this, but there's no way you're trusting the Bengals to upset the 8-0 Steelers. If this is a different team, I don't. I probably would be more inclined to pick them, but the Bengals is inconsistent, so I got the Steelers. Then the Seahawks versus the Rams. I think Seahawks come in with a little bit chip on his shoulder, especially Russ. He heard Dylan's comments talking about, he ain't MVP. So he gonna come in with a chip on his shoulder this week, and they're gonna take the dub. I call it 34-17.
I'm not the only one that says that. I'm sure the man in the mirror also says, "Nah, he's not the MVP."
Oh,
All right, so y'all always think I'm crazy with my picks. You think I have a
Oh
magic
gosh.
8 ball. Will they win? I guess that's what Kyron said last episode. Um, so I have some notes to help me because I feel like if I break it down and I have some really good research to back it up, then it'll actually happen. So these are my picks. Number 20, USC plays Arizona. They played Arizona State last week and they were down by 13 points with less than 3 minutes remaining. Slovis throws a touchdown on 4th and 13 to make it a 6-point game. Then they recover an onside kick, get the ball back, and Slovis throws another bomb into the end zone on 4th and 9, and USC wins the game 28-27. Now, Arizona State had like a 97.9% chance to win that game. For USC to come back, close it out, that's a good sign. They just don't need to continue to lose for a majority of a game. But I think that they will beat Arizona since this is Arizona's first game of the season. Now, Northwestern versus Purdue. Northwestern's QB Ramsey didn't have a great game against Nebraska, but their defense played really well. They caught 2 interceptions near or in the end zone, so I think their defense will help them this week in the weekend's clash against the Boilermakers. So number 23 Northwestern will beat Purdue. And the last college football game, number 19 ranked SMU will play Tulsa. SMU, they're underdogs. They're 2.5 point underdogs in this game against Tulsa. But
What?
yeah,
it's crazy.
but they played twice as many games as Tulsa. They've played 8. Tulsa's played 4. So I think that them playing more games will benefit them. Now, it didn't help against Cincinnati, but hopefully this time we're right. And Cincinnati, they're ranked number 7 in the nation for a reason. Now, NFL, Chargers versus Dolphins. Justin Herbert, I think he can easily win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He surprised a lot of people with his arm strength and accuracy because he didn't show that in Oregon at times. But the Chargers are the Chargers. They lost 3 games after leading by 17 or more. And if you include the Jacksonville game, they've blown leads where they've been up by 16 points. So they don't know how to finish games. And I think the matchup of that game is Xavier Howard versus Keenan Allen. I saw Xavier Howard shut down D-Hop, and my fantasy team suffered because of it. DeAndre Hopkins didn't get as many targets as he usually does, and he wasn't as effective. Howard basically took him out of the game. So if he does the same thing against Keenan Allen, then they don't really have a chance. And shout out to Brian Flores. He seemed like he was one and done last year as a head coach once they brought him on, but they stuck with him, and he can also be coach of the year because no one thought that the Dolphins would be in second place in the AFC East, and they have a chance to actually make the playoffs this year. Now, Bengals versus Steelers. We saw the way Pittsburgh played Dallas last week with a healthy Ben Roethlisberger in the first half. Now, right before halftime, he injured both knees and had to leave. And he's also on the COVID list. He hasn't practiced with the team all week.
Slipped my
I
mind,
forgot
bro.
about that.
So there's a chance that this man is not on the field. And you may have
about that.
Mason Rudolph as your starting QB. Joe Burrow could also be offensive player, rookie of the year. He has Higgins, Boyd, Tate, and let's not forget AJ Green. And Joe Mixon is coming back.
Dang, bro. I have 2 of them boys on my.
And they beat Tennessee 2 weeks ago. And a bye week, so they should be refreshed.
I did not.
I totally forgot. I saw it this morning, and I totally forgot Ben was not playing.
I literally looked at it. I'm like, bro, what?
So he didn't test positive. It was only close. He was in close contact with someone that did. So the organization, they seem to be optimistic about him playing, but just not. He's a veteran, so he doesn't really need the practice snaps, the practice reps. But I just think that this is like, you saw how they played against Dallas. Barely won. Barely beat Baltimore. They seem to be a little tired. So I think they need a loss to kind of ignite that flame again, reignite that flame.
That's the thing about Pittsburgh, though. Like, they kind of stoop down to their competition's level.
They do. They're really not that great against, like, what in the past, not this year, but in the past, they're usually horrible against the bad teams and really good against the good teams. It makes no sense.
And last one, Seahawks versus Rams. This is Russell Wilson's time. Prove me wrong. This is your chance to shut me up. Prove to me that you're MVP of this 2020-21 season. You got to go up against the Seahawks, the Bills. Now you're facing LA. And then you face Arizona again next week, a rematch, Thursday Night Football. Prove to me that you can have almost near perfect games. And I'll finally say, I'll admit it, he's an MVP, but he has to show me something. He has to. Now, if that O-line doesn't protect him and Aaron Donald gets a hold of him, it's a whole different ballgame because then he's in under duress, a lot of pressure. He's going to start throwing balls that he usually doesn't throw, and then Jalen Ramsey's going to be licking his chops in the secondary. But I've never seen a Russ Seahawks team lose back-to-back games, so I think that they'll win. And this is a really important game because this is like basically whoever wins this, they're in first place in NFC West. So those are my picks.
Looking like Donald Duck out there.
What?
Donald Duck.
All right, let's go, baby. It's Final Fantasy time. Some say I'm the self-proclaimed king of Final Fantasy. Some might say I'm just a king. I'll take it all. King Green. I'll take it all. Some say I might just call myself that, but there's
I'm
haters.
mad at this guy.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's why I was about to say. Self-proclaimed. Yeah, you're the only one that calls yourself the Final Fantasy King. 'Cause that I've never uttered those words.
Hey, I'm
You told
almost there
now.
after this week. So I got a question for my fantasy this week. What defense should I start? I have the Cardinals on my team, but they're playing the Bills. So I don't think that's a really good fit for me. They got 4.3 projected this week. So I need another defense out there, but the pickings are slim.
So you don't have another one. So you have to go into the waiver wire.
Yeah, they got the Giants, Vikings, Chargers, Lions, Browns, Washington, Raiders, Dolphins, Titans. Well, Titans playing now, so
Man,
they all card.
Vikings look pretty good because if Nick Foles, most likely he's starting again, he's going to turn over the ball. They may either interception or Khalil Mack. Wait, no, not Khalil Mack. Sorry, he's actually on Chicago. But I think that if they get to Nick Foles, he may either throw a pick or fumble the ball. So I may look at
Mhm.
him, but also you can't pass up on the Giants at 7.1, even though I do because Carson Wentz he turned over the ball like on average like 3 or 4 times. So
Sure.
Giants projected 7.1.
it's just whoever you think will throw more interceptions or have more turnovers. Carson Wentz or Nick Foles. That's what it'll
Crazy.
come down to.
I go with the Giants.
Mm. Well, good luck, Grasshopper.
9 point difference.
All right, I'll go. Mine is tight end position. I've been complaining about Mark Andrews since the beginning of time. He had 5.2 points last week against Indianapolis. He hasn't gotten me double digits since Cincinnati week 5. He's averaging about 5 points a game now. Still ranked number 8 in his position. That just goes to show how weak the tight end position is this year. But my question is, should I drop him, put him on my bench, and start Austin Hooper in his place? This is his first game back since week 6. He had surgery, but he's the second
Ooh.
option behind Jarvis Landry now since OBJ is out.
It's his first game
It's a
in how
good tight
long?
end, but I don't trust Cleveland.
What? I'd trust against that Texans defense. I would. Texans not that good. They're ranked 22nd. So I think with the offense, I'll if you don't start him, I'll trade for him. Hey, I'll trade for Mark Andrews.
For who?
I have Jimmy Graham.
I'm gonna say Mark Andrews, man.
I don't know Jimmy
Hey,
Graham. That's not 2014.
he's on Chicago
Exactly.
though.
Yeah, I just told you Nick Foles sucks.
Yeah, but they ain't got too many threats with the Bears.
Nah, I'm not gonna give up on him completely, but I do think I'm gonna drop him, or at least have him on my bench because they play in New England and they're ranked number 1, I guess, against tight ends.
Mm.
It's tough. I'll go. All right. So my running back, Edwards-Helaire, he's on the bye this week. So I picked up freaking Malcolm Brown. One of y'all probably dropped him.
Yeah,
I just have to scoop him up. Like,
I had him for like 5 minutes.
all right. I picked him up from the waiver wire. Not to mention that Joe Mixon is questionable. He hasn't played in like the last 2 or 3 games.
hmm
Mixon goes against the Steelers, and if he's healthy, and Brown goes against the Seattle defense. So, like, if Mixon is healthy, like, who should I having that spot.
I think you answered your question then. Then look at the defense. Seahawks defense is notoriously bad, and you got the Steelers with they got a lot better, so a lot greater defense. And then Mixon's coming off an injury, so they're gonna limit him. So they're definitely not gonna have him go out and get all the snaps against the Steelers.
That he usually does. He puts up numbers
Their-
when he's in there, so that's like I was
Their run
torn.
defense is good too, so
Yeah,
I don't think Mixon's gonna really do anything. Or Nixon, whatever his name is.
Mixon.
This man and his M's and N's.
Right.
Man, that's
President Mixon.
That's a tough one, Kyron. Because
That is tough.
Henderson gets most of the snaps, most of the touches
Why running back?
for the Rams. And then I do feel like they're going to slowly bring in Mixon, get him back. They don't want him to re-aggravate his injury, and that Steelers defense is tough, old school type defense. So you may have Giovanni Bernard taking a good amount of snaps, but I'll probably go
Is he
with
still
Joe Mixon.
available?
Yeah, he is, but his projected points are like 4 points because Mixon is back. I'll probably take that chance. It's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Because I do think that Joe Burrow is gonna probably have about 35 to 40 pass attempts. So Mixon
That's true.
may have less than 20 rushes, but hopefully
Yeah.
him being out, he's a little fresher. So
Yeah, I mean, I projected 121, and then who I'm going against is projected like 80. So, probably
oh yeah, I would do it then. It's not. I don't think
You
that
pick up Zeke.
What?
You pick up Zeke.
he's on the waiver wire.
He should be.
I didn't pick that dude.
And it's a bye
Oh,
week.
man. I know.
That's funny. Well, for starters, I'm trying to trade Lamar Jackson.
Nobody wants him, sir.
Not really.
Yeah,
Unless you
I
could put
know.
him as
I
a
see.
flex.
I wish I could, but I can't. Freaking. Yeah, I freaking tried to get I tried to trade Lucky for what's his name? What's the
Christian
dude name? The
McCaffrey?
running back. Yeah, but looks like he's out.
Yeah.
He been out for a while.
This man played one game and then freaking out again.
He
Crazy.
re-aggravated something?
I don't know. I just know he's out.
Yeah, I think it was like his
So-
shoulder this time.
Oh man.
Man, that's crazy. That's tough. Football's dangerous, man. But I need another kicker. I just picked up Mason Crosby. And I put Koo on my bench.
Is
Yeah,
there
I
a
think that was a good
question?
pickup.
You put him on your
Yeah.
bench. Oh, he
Yeah.
I think Crosby was a good pickup out of
Yeah,
the available kickers.
I think Green Bay is going to drop about 40 plus points on Jacksonville.
Yeah, you said Koo is on the bye week.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's why I need a replacement.
No, let me see for kickers, right?
Matt.
I was looking at Matt Prater earlier. I actually picked up a kicker this week because I didn't know who I was going to pick, but Matt Prater or Prater.
They're playing Washington football team, and they could put up 28, 30 points. Matt Stafford and that offense, so you get extra points there. Maybe they don't convert in the red zone, so then you get a few field goals. So he's also a good option. But I like Mason Crosby, reliable
Prater.
kicker.
Predators projected 9.5. Who you have is projected like what, 8 something? 8 or
Who?
7 something?
Who's 9.5?
Predator.
Only thing is with Prater is that he missed a 46-yard field goal attempt.
Everybody misses though.
I I probably stick with Crosby, or you go with Prater. He's not. It's another. It's not really high risk or high reward. It's just kind of like either way. It does. I don't think it'll affect
Yeah.
your overall score.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, that's true. You still gonna lose.
Jeff, hey,
Nah,
no
good matchups this week.
no kidding, man. I saw that you're like, it's like you lost 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
He ain't got the nerve to talk about Kyren record.
And I'm about to be 5-5.
We were talking about it at the beginning, man.
4 game losing streak. That's tough. Don't make it 5.
At the beginning, bro, I was like 2.
Bro, that sucks. You lost in pick 6 and you losing in fantasy. Bro, that ain't a good look.
You hate to see
And the 100-yard dash. Dang,
Exactly.
2020 has not been kind to you.
And the little
Boy.
way. Come on.
No.
No.
You're going too far. I mentioned earlier when we first started this episode that there are a lot of NBA rumors, trade buzz. Some players are not happy with the current team that they're with. They want to move on. So Russell Westbrook, this was surprising. I know that I think we touched on it on one of our quick reaction topics. You know, why not trade him? Now while he's still athletic and has some type of speed, and he can still get a triple-double whenever he wants to. So probably trade him now before it's too late. You can get pretty good, maybe a draft pick or a few good players in return. He just turned 32 today, so happy birthday, Russ. So, but yeah, this was surprising that he pretty much demanded a trade. Like, he wants out. He wants to be the primary ball handler again, like he was in OKC. Before Paul George got there, and even when he was there, he was still the primary ball handler. So he wants to go somewhere else. And you have teams like the Hawks, Hornets, Pistons, Clippers, Knicks that are all potential suitors, and they're interested in trading for him. So out of these trade destinations, where do you see him potentially landing?
Well, I see him going to the Knicks. They have the cap space to do it. I mean, who's gonna put? He has $132 million contract over 3 years, bro. Who's gonna pick up that contract? A desperate team, the Knicks. They'll probably tell the GM. GM probably will sell his whole leg for Russell Westbrook right now. That's what it's gonna happen like that, man. That contract is too big, and the Knicks are desperate. They don't even have who's their point guard. I don't know either.
Alfred Payton, but he's no Russ.
Right, exactly.
He said exactly.
Anybody else?
I got Russ going to. Well, okay, I'm stuck. Either the Clippers.
Wait, what?
I don't think that's a great fit for him.
Man, get out of here.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers picked him up. Like, look, Steve Ballmer is a billionaire. This man's a multi-billionaire. He has the money to do it. He doesn't care. He's building that new arena. He needs fans to fill it up like they do the Staples Center. He got a lot riding, these next 3 to 4 seasons. So the Clippers are going to need to make a change, and why not give them a great point guard and might perhaps get rid of PG. But I think either he goes to the Clippers or he returns back to the Thunder. He loved the Thunder. He played with the Thunder so long until he went to the Rockets. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to OKC. And they bring in some big names.
I'm not bringing him to the Clippers.
No, sir. Not at all.
I'm taking Pat Bev over him.
Any day.
Nobody
No, I'm
wants
not.
to play for the Knicks because nobody wants to play for James Dolan at all.
Man, I mean that cap space, and he'll be the
Carmelo
primary.
Anthony does.
I don't know,
No.
bro. I can see that happening with him going to the Clippers.
And Steve Ballmer is the richest owner in the league, but it's not like he can just throw $100, $200 million. There is cap space, like there's a cap.
There's a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And Paul George and Kawhi take up most of the cap space already. Now you get rid of Patrick Beverly, Lou Williams, maybe do a sign and trade with Montrezl Harrell, but that's a tough one. They could pull it off with a 3-team trade, and as you said, maybe get rid of PG.
I don't say it working.
They should.
But they gave up like 7 first-round draft picks to OKC, and that's why also Russ won't go to OKC because they're already looking to the future. This man is the past. There's no way you bring a 32-year-old point guard back after you.
You can't look to the future with Chris Paul there.
Yeah, but they're gonna get rid of him for.
That's how Chris Paul get traded too.
Yeah, they're gonna get him for another first-round draft pick. While his demand is high. I think that he'll go to, I think the Knicks too, but I could also see the Hornets since he is with Jordan Brand. Maybe Jordan's like that sells more tickets.
Makes sense.
We already have Devontae Graham. Terry Rozier can come off the bench. We have the 3rd pick in the draft. Maybe he can play that Chris Paul role that he played at OKC and be that vet that shows them what it's like to win and lose in the first round. So could be Charlotte. It could be the Pistons. I don't want to see him and Blake Griffin play together. That's even if Blake Griffin ever plays again. But I think Knicks #1 and probably the Hornets. But I don't see him going to one of those LA teams.
If he goes to any of those teams, bro, he ain't winning no ring.
He ain't.
No, it's not in the cards, man. But I agree with you guys. I see the Knicks or pretty much any of the top teams, not the 2 Laker teams. I'm sorry, not Laker, but 2 LA teams. Detroit, Hornets, Knicks. I mean, Russ, he needs the ball in his hands, so you just really have to try to build around him. So whichever GM that wants to try to do that with a 32-year-old, that's the spot he needs to go to.
Yeah, the market looks slim for him. The way he plays and being the dominant ball handler that he is, I just don't see where he fits on a lot of these teams, especially contending teams. Now, a guy that does seem to be someone that a lot of teams are like, can we get this man? There's a lot of trade offers on the table for him. Chris Paul, fifth time's a charm. He played for the Hornets, Clippers, Rockets, Thunder. At 15, maybe he goes to Milwaukee, and he's definitely an upgrade from Eric Bledsoe, and he can help Giannis ascend to even another level. He's already an MVP caliber player, but could he help a team like that? Could he go to the Clippers? That's a possibility. Even though his contract is almost similar to Russ's Lakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, out of these teams or any dark horse teams, where do you think that he'll go?
I'm taking this one first. I want to see this man with the Bucks or the Suns.
Let's go.
I did the same. I picked the same teams, bro.
I would love to see him play with the Bucks. Him and Giannis. I feel like that would be a great duo. I mean, Chris Paul is getting up there in age, but I feel like him and his leadership skills, I feel like that's just what the Bucks need because they are mentally weak in the playoffs. So I feel like CP3 will help with that. With the Suns, there's a lot of young talent. We saw what he did with the young talent that's in OKC right now. They made it pretty far in the playoffs. I was pretty surprised. So I feel like him with the Suns and D Book, man, like I feel that's something nice right there.
Imagine how much he helped Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, his game improve. Imagine a Devin Book that's already perennial all-star, borderline superstar.
But D-Book's not going to be there, so.
Yeah, I just think the people that they have to give up for him on the Suns, I don't think they'll be like worth it. They'll have to probably give up Kelly Oubre which is their second.
Nah, man,
Second man.
the Suns have a lot of assets, bro. They don't have to give up any of their stars. They can give them some like draft picks and they'll probably be all right.
Boy, nobody want that for that contract.
No, bro.
No, but it's possible.
That's why I had both of those two teams. I had the Suns because what's his name? Monty Williams. He played with he was with Chris Paul in New Orleans. So for that reason I said there, but then I also said the Bucks because Chris Paul is 35. If he wants to have the better chance at winning, he's gonna go with the Bucks, or to make the playoffs. He's gonna go
and actually have a chance.
Exactly. He's gonna go with the Bucks.
That'd be the best fit.
I agree with y'all with the Bucks. That would be a great fit for Giannis. If Milwaukee wants to keep Giannis there, I would definitely go with CP3.
Exactly.
Go ahead, get him on board. But the Suns, I don't see that because, like I said, D-Book's going to be gone, and that's going to be a weird playing style with D-Book and CP3 on the court. That's kind of weird to me. Knicks, that's definitely not a chance. Clippers, I don't see them going back down that road. That would be 3 dominant ball players. So, nope. Lakers, I say they are third in line behind my other choice, which I'm going to mention after. The Lakers will be great because CP3 and LeBron, they're best friends. He's a part of the Banana Boat crew. I think CP3 can be a great floor general since, talks of Rondo going to the Clippers is, in motion. So I think CP3 can definitely get the ball to LeBron where he wants and where he needs it, especially to Anthony Davis. Get him down there in the post and let him work. I think that'll be great. But
That's heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I think the second pick after the Bucks will be the dark horse team will be the 76ers.
Oh, that's no way.
Meet up with Doc.
Yeah, meet up with Doc. Meet up with that team. They
don't like each other.
I was just about to say that. They don't like each other.
I didn't know that,
bro. Matt Barnes
man.
like Greg Popovich, but it worked for a little bit.
Who?
But Matt Barnes. I mean, not Matt Barnes. Steven Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Steven Jackson didn't like Greg Popovich, but it worked for a little bit. But also, that's the team out of all these teams listed that is in dire need of a leader. And you're not getting that out of Joel Embiid. So I think CP3 and the 76ers will both benefit from this. Even if they don't get to the championship, I think they get to like the Eastern Conference Finals at least. So I think this would be a great fit for them.
So what about Ben Simmons?
Move him to the 2.
He can't shoot.
Yeah.
How you gonna be a shooting guard and you can't shoot? Come on, man.
It could work, but it's not a good fit. That's not better than Phoenix, where you have DeAndre Ayton and guys that they space the floor a lot. That's why I think the Bucks are great as well, because basically everyone spaces the floor except for Giannis. So that gives Giannis more space to maneuver in the paint, to drive. So I can see him definitely going to the Bucks. He can also shoot the 3, and he knows where to dish it and how to dish it to the right person at the right time. And I think that if they get Chris Paul, they will definitely make the finals. That's the edge that they need to beat a team like Brooklyn and Philly and Toronto and some of those other Eastern Conference powerhouses. But I do like Phoenix too, but I think there have been some like whispers that Phoenix, they're hesitant on trading that number 10 draft pick because they can get a young point guard in the draft fresh out of college. So I think Milwaukee, maybe Phoenix. Lakers, that would be for every NBA fan, that's like a dream to see Chris Paul play with LeBron. 2 guys that they could just play well together, even though they both need the ball. LeBron would probably let Chris Paul have the ball more, and then having him pair up with AD, and then maybe having Melo. Then you finally have those 3 guys playing together. That would be a beautiful.
Coming off the bench. Hey.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be a beautiful thing. He'll definitely play that role. But Milwaukee is definitely the best spot for Chris Paul, and the best chance for him to win a ring besides the Lakers.
I do say that Giannis would have to change his game a bit and play off ball because, like, the way the Bucks play, it's always stand back. Giannis gets the ball at the top of the key and let him like go to work.
They definitely can execute the pick and roll a lot better with him.
Yep.
Exactly.
So go up over everybody.
Even Brook Lopez, I'm sure he would have career high numbers with Chris Paul as a point guard, as a general on the court.
All the threes he be shooting.
Yeah, but Giannis, he'll definitely have to change the way he plays, because if he doesn't, if he continues to play the way he does with a Chris Paul on the roster, Chris Paul is demanding a trade immediately. That's not gonna work out. All right, Kiren.
Oh yes, sir. All right, man. So on the podcast, this man Isiah Thomas had the ultimate disrespect for MJ. Man, this man said he was more dominant over MJ until 1991, until he basically had a career-ending wrist injury. He said it wasn't a competition there, and that his focus was Bird, Magic, Dr. J, and Kareem, as you guys see here. Now, me personally, I think this is major cappity cap. Like, bro, this is Michael Jordan, bro. Like, his team, like, bro, look, his team was more dominant than Michael Jordan's Bulls. That is correct. But for him to say, like, him personally was better than MJ, like, bro, and they basically, in just words, that he wasn't checking for him, like, bro, that's cap. Like, his whole team had to make the Jordan rules in what, 88 or whatever, just to like contain Jordan, and Jordan still dropped like 40-some points, bro. So for him to say that he wasn't checking for him, just cap.
Did he really say he wasn't checking for him? He said that he was number 5 when it comes to like the toughest players he's faced in his career.
Well, right here, he's just said he was more dominant. I just don't think that he was more dominant. I think his team was more dominant than the Bulls for sure. But it's just for him to say that I don't know, man. I just think that he had threw some salt in his game. Man, still salty. He should have been checking for him because, we all know how MJ turned out. So,
man, this is what I'm talking. I've been waiting on this because we talked about it in the group chat. People forget how great Isiah was as a basketball player. Honestly, if it wasn't for MJ, he would have been on that dream team, and they would have been a lot better. And the dream team was great. We got to remember the Pistons were the bad boy Pistons. Like he said, Bird, Magic, Dr. J, Kareem, they dominated through the 80s, and especially Bird and Magic. It was back and forth. So it wasn't until 1985 where a guy named Michael Jordan coming out of UNC was, had that start. He was coming up as a star. But remember, he got hurt that next season, and it was like, okay, you're not really checking for him. You know he's upcoming. You know about him. That's like recruiting. You know about the upcoming players, but does it really matter at this point, at this stage where you're about to retire within the next 10 years? Does it really matter that MJ is the next guy for the throne, because he's not making any impact on the game right now as far as winning championships. So your goal and your focus are on the guys that are constantly winning championships, dominating the league when it really matters, because during the regular season, it don't really matter. Doesn't matter how many ads you got, what you wearing on your shoes, how many commercials you have, stuff like that. It only matters if you're winning championships, and Jordan wasn't winning championships. So I agree with IT.
They said it wasn't a competition there, but his team had to make a whole defense, basically, where they would, when Jordan stepped foot in the paint, this man got clothesline, boy got curb stomped, everything.
Yeah, but the same thing happened with Shaq, Hacker Shaq. You weren't really checking for Shaq during those days, but to stop Shaq is basically to hack him, to get him to the freaking line. So that's the same thing with Jordan, to get him to get off his game, foul him. So
he still dropped him, but
let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all want to hear what I have to say?
You crazy? Go ahead.
Okay. Because you're crazy, Jeff. I agree with
What?
Isaiah
I
and
didn't say
Albert.
nothing.
You said Albert was crazy. That lets me
Yes,
know
he
that
did
you
say
don't
that.
agree with what Isaiah said. In the 80s, the gatekeepers of the league were Magic and Bird. That whole
Facts.
decade, they won rings, except for like 3 years. I think it was the Rockets, 76ers, and the Pistons. And that's why Dr. J is on that list. Now, I think Dr. J is a little bit too high. I'll probably take him out and put MJ, but that's Isaiah. That's his opinion. Now, that MJ Bulls team in the 80s, they were young pups. Isaiah was drafted in 81. I think his first playoff appearance was like 84, 85. They didn't face the Bulls until 88. And I think that was in the first round or the semifinals, and they beat them in 5 games. Then in 88, right after that, the Pistons played the Celtics. And they finally beat them in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games after losing the year before against them in the playoffs. They played LA in the finals that year after beating the Celtics in 88 and lost in the finals. Then they faced the Celtics again, sweep them. They played the Bulls, beat them, and then they faced LA again, another a rematch. Beat them in 89, win their first finals. Then they win in 1990. I think so pretty much every time you were in the playoffs, you had to go up against the Celtics. And if you passed them, you were going up against the Lakers. So yes, Bird and Magic were Isaiah's toughest competition. It wasn't MJ. He was probably like the best scorer, the most popular from the mid 80s to the late 80s. But Isaiah didn't have to worry about him because his team was better than MJ's team at the time. Now in 1990, they faced them, and they barely beat Chicago, so they were a threat. I think even in '89 they faced them. Now in '91, that's when Chicago swept the Bad Boys in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then that's when MJ that was his lead for like the rest of the '90s, basically up until '98. But yeah, I just agree with this. As Isaiah said, he was dominant against the team, not MJ, because MJ was still getting his. But you let him get his, and the rest of the team, they weren't showing up. So he definitely has a point. It was always Lakers, Celtics. That's who you had to worry about.
Big facts.
You guys are making a lot of sense by the way you guys are looking at it. I'm going off of word for word from what he says. He said head to head, I was dominant over Michael Jordan until 1991.
That's the
He's
only
not
piece
talking
that
about
I
his,
have a problem with. That piece.
So
right
you-
there.
he's
so
not
so you
talking
think
about his team.
so you think
He
he's
said
talking about
head to
he
head.
actually guarded him? That's what you think he's saying.
Not necessarily guarding him, but I just feel like he's saying him as a basketball player versus Michael Jordan as a basketball player in the 80s. Like, that's how I'm taking it, head to head. So, both as players, not teams, both as players, he was more dominant.
It's
until he had
it.
his
He's definitely talking about
injury.
individual.
He was
Yeah, you know
definitely
what I'm saying?
dominant.
Yeah, even MJ admitted on The Last Dance. Behind Magic, Isaiah is the best point guard to ever play.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Yeah, but
MJ
No
still
Michael
cap,
Jordan was
no
dropping like
cappity cap.
40 points.
if there is some cap in his rap because he's capped.
Yeah, but he dropped 40 points and they didn't win anything. So, like he said,
But
at
he
this
said
time,
head to head. He said head to head.
I think if you look at those stats, that MJ probably still have more points per game.
Yeah.
But did it matter? He didn't win any
That's why
championship.
we told you.
But see-
We already told you that it was team. If it was team, then yes, Isaiah definitely has it. But head to head,
Right.
1-on-1, bro, it's not.
But you just
Not
said
at
that
all.
they didn't face each other one on one.
I'm
Isaiah's the
just
point
saying,
guard.
like,
Jordan's
Yeah.
a two. He
I'm
was
just
a shooting
saying,
guard.
like scoring wise, like points per game wise.
He's a shooting guard.
Of course, he's going to put up more points. Isaiah during that time, point guards. Now he wasn't always pass first like a John Stockton, but he wasn't Allen Iverson. So of course he's not going to have more points per game than MJ.
And he shouldn't be making these comments. Now, if he rephrased it and said,
My team, bro. I swear, I
My
would have to
team,
agree with y'all
us
100,000.
Pistons, we were dominant over Jordan and his Bulls.
But
They'll
that's
say,
what he
okay,
means.
You're right.
But of course they're going to put
That's not
the
what he
quote like.
said.
But are you gonna click
my
on something
research.
where Isaiah says my team was better than MJ's team, or are you gonna click on when he says head to
So
head,
you're saying it's
I was
clickbait.
better?
So in other words, it's fake news.
Some cap in here.
No, no, you guys are
That's
reading
what
it
you
like
Dylan. That's what you're saying.
no,
You
you
said
guys
it's
are reading it
clickbait.
like for what it actually is, like head to head. Oh, like if they were playing on a court somewhere at
Exactly.
then Isaiah's gonna beat him.
That's what he
No,
said.
Isaiah's
Man,
not that.
Bro, they
Isaiah's
only
not
played
stupid.
since
He knows.
'88.
that man be hating.
This
See,
man
you
said,
guys.
"What if they had one matchup and he would have said this? That would be like crazy." But look at the time period, 85 to 91 for Isaiah Thomas and MJ and their impact.
So
You guys
Chicago
are
lost
assuming
to
way too much.
Detroit 3 consecutive years in the playoffs. So that's dominant.
Exactly.
That's
Is
what he
this
means.
that I don't know,
That's
man.
not what he
started
Let me
said.
call him up. Let me ask him. I don't know. Like I don't know what this man meant. Like I'm just saying. I'm
Exactly.
just going off of what it says right here. It says
He
Exactly.
does. He does say I was dominant over.
Exactly. So, like, come on, yo.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Kiren, another one that. And you dropped this, and I don't know. I feel like you agree with it. I feel like you agree with it, and nobody was at your head for it. It kind of like got lost in the text.
bro. I'm gonna make some sense, man. Y'all just
I
gotta.
don't I don't
Oh, so you
acknowledge
actually think that
foolishness like
you
that.
actually think this is the best high school team ever?
I'm just going off of this year. I'm gonna tell
Nah.
y'all.
Year? What?
Look, bro. Word on the street and Bleacher Report is that Chino Hills High School basketball team is one of the best high school teams ever,
But you agree with it?
to some extent. Look, man, a
Where you
team,
stop at best?
huh?
Where do you stop at? Best high school team or just like high school team?
I don't know, dude. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. I got you. All right, man. A team that featured 3 popular household names, man. Y'all know who they are. Their last name ends with Ball. Look, bro, they went 35-0 and ended with the state title. And they averaged about 98 points per game, bro. And then it was rumored that their starting 5 could have all made the NBA. Now, I know what y'all are saying. St. Vincent St. Mary, when LeBron James was there, went what? 101-6 and won 3 state titles. But look,
Yes.
they were D3.
So
Chino Hills was D1. At competition, there's some there's some heavier
it
competition.
doesn't matter. They both were playing nationally ranked high school teams.
D1, there's a difference between D1 and D3 though.
Yeah, 2 numbers.
But they were still going up against teams like Oak Hill, Montyverde,
Exactly.
Saint. Can't think of the
St.
team right now.
Anthony.
Yes, thank you. New Jersey. Yeah.
Chino Hills went against some comp too. What else are you talking about?
I'm still waiting for you to make this make sense.
It does make sense. They went 35-0, dude.
Because they won more games.
No, I'm just saying that D3 and D1, there's discrepancy. That word there.
Discrepancies. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, bro. But like to some extent, it does make sense. But 101-6, like over like 4 years, that is crazy. But I'm just giving them their due credit.
I got Oak Hill, 1993. They went 36-0. Not 35.
Oh, one more.
You know who played on that team? Jerry Stackhouse.
Stack. I did a little research myself.
That's all I gotta say. Like,
Yeah, but no one cares about that '93 Oak Hill team.
Yeah,
They like Jerry Stackhouse as one of the he was a great NBA player. But
exactly.
so why do you pick them? You watch some tape, or just because they won 36 games, one more than Chino Hills?
No, Oak Hill was like cold. Like,
Melo go, that's cool.
there. Yep.
That's why
Melo
you
ended up
picked them.
going there. No, it's like light years ahead. But like, They had 8 players that went to Division I teams, and there were 4 playing in the NBA. They won their games by average of 32 points. So I mean, like, shall I shall, shall I keep going? You know, they got national titles in 93, 94, 90, 99, 2001, 2004, 2007, 2012.
Nah, fam, you said 93. Get out.
So I mean, like, that's like a pretty dominant title run. Like, obviously with different teams every year in 2 years. So
Jeff about to say his freshman basketball team.
that's it. Lake Highlands Junior High.
First of all, I didn't even go to the
Forest
college.
Meadows.
Oh
I
man,
meant to say Lake Highlands Freshman Center.
he was butt cheeks.
Do you pick Chino Hills since you're a LaMelo Ball fan?
I don't know, man. It's tough. See, I feel like Chino Hills, because of the Ball brothers, they are the most talked about. They did get the most notoriety because, I mean, the likelihood of 3 brothers playing who are all good at basketball, one team, and then you go 35-0, win a championship. I mean, the most recent years, I have to say they probably are the best, high school basketball team. Overall, though, that's tough because, I mean, when LeBron was there at St. Vincent, I mean, nobody was checking for them. This man just came on the scene and it
Oh
just
my
went crazy.
gosh!
Bro,
How
LeBron's
was
been
nobody checking from him?
LeBron's been called the chosen one since he was 4.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before, like, I guess. Like,
This man had a
without LeBron, like, no one's paying attention to St. Vincent.
That's any school. That's any high school and college team. They are
Not Oak
recognized
Hill.
by their
Oak
top
Hill
players.
is known for having a good team.
Oh my God.
You're right. You're right. Like the program is bigger than the players that go there. St.
Yeah.
Vincent, St. Mary, LeBron made that school what they are today.
Yeah, man, 101 and 6.
Yeah, nobody was checking for him though.
I'm gonna bore you guys
No,
with some
people are
more
checking for
stats.
LeBron. I'm talking about
So,
St. Vincent.
so
Nobody
Chino
checking
Hills,
for them.
they do have. I didn't know this that Onyeka Okongwu, the guy that he's like.
I know you're talking about Dylan.
Yeah, he went to
Number
US.
21.
Yeah, center. He went to USC. He's in the draft this year. He's been projected to go as high as number 3 draft.
You said that too fast. I thought you was speaking like Wakanda language.
So he's projected to go as high as number 3, selected by the Charlotte Hornets. We'll see. So you have him and the Ball brothers. I know LaMelo dropped like 90 points in one game. Also, Jello, he dropped like 100 points in a game. And you had Lonzo. So you had 2 brothers that are great at scoring at that time. Also great facilitators. And then you have one that's just great at stealing.
He in the G League though, huh? Or is he not anymore?
Get it? He was great at stealing. Okay. So that team was great. But you think about that Monteverde team in Florida, that program, last year they had 8 guys in the top 65 of their draft classes. Cade Cunningham, he's from Dallas. He moved to Florida to go play there, ranked number 2 in the 2020 class. He's projected to be drafted overall number 1 next year in 2021 draft. He's going to Oklahoma State this year
21.
because his brother is like the assistant coach. But they went 25-0. So that's a team where you have 8 guys at the top of their classes. That's pretty good. Then another Monteverde team, you have Ben Simmons and D'Angelo Russell on the same team, 2013-14. They won back-to-back national championships. One year they went 27-1, and then Ben Simmons won another national championship after Russell went to Ohio State. Sierra Canyon, young team, a lot of hype. Now, we're probably talking more about winning games, but they're like St. Vincent St. Mary, where you had people like Drake go to their games wearing their gear, and a lot of hype. Bronny Jr., Zaire, Wade, Dwayne Wade's son. St. Vincent St. Mary, That last year they went 26-0 and a one forfeit loss because LeBron had to sit out a few games and they had to forfeit that one of the games because he was receiving gifts. So that was against the amateur rules that are in place. Then let me just say this. I think Albert would like this one. Power Memorial High School, 1964, 30-0. Lou Alcindor was on that team. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is his name now. That team is one of the best because out of the 4 years he played, they only lost one game. Then he went on to UCLA and never lost a game in college. Won national championships the whole time with Coach Wooden. 33 points a game he scored that 1964 year. 30-0. So, Chino Hills, you can't say that they're the best team when you look at all these other teams. And we're not even talking about, well, I'm not talking about, Albert mentioned it, Oak Hill and St. Anthony, those programs.
Are we talking about recently, though? Because if we're talking about recently, then yes, they are the best.
Hey, man, they're a good team.
I just said Monteverde had some great teams recently.
Monteverde, but they beat Monteverde when they were there in 2015, 2016.
Okay, you got
They beat some powerhouse teams when they were there, but no, they're a good team. That's to say ever. No, but they're good.
It's hard to compare ever because there is so many, especially in high school. Like if you have talented enough players, everyone's good. But yeah, it's hard to say ever.
Don't know what they feed these boys. Give me some of that.
Yeah, as soon as you come out the womb, here, dribble this basketball. That's how it be, man.
So final verdict, Kiren, Chino Hills best team or just in recent memory?
Recent memory.
Okay.
Sounds like I was right.
for once in your life.
Hey, man. Y'all gonna stop hating on me. I just had a quick question for you guys.
Jeff's random question of the day.
I just had this random thought earlier today. Now, if you could disinvent one thing, what would it be? What type of invention has caused the most misery?
That's a good question.
I know, right?
Bro, what?
I'll like thinking really quickly. I would disinvent nothing. Why? Why? Because with every invention comes trials and tribulations. If there were like no wrecks, then if there were like, okay, so in order to drive a car, there comes wrecks. So what do you do for wrecks? How do you stop wrecks in the future? You make seat belts and stuff like this, and what's that called? Airbag stuff. So everything comes like from a purpose, with like misery and damage comes more safety reasons. So I don't think anything needs to be undone, at least at the top of my head.
Bro, this is wild. I don't know.
I would say my speed because I'm so fast.
That's not an invention. What?
I feel like I have invented. I feel like I have invented like running because I'm so great at it.
You talking about the deodorant?
Girl, you gonna think?
Oh man,
girl, you gonna think? Girl, you gonna think? You gonna think I invented running? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, okay, if it really comes down to it, I'd probably get rid of like it's really hard to say because I feel like we need the internet now. But if I could, I would say no internet.
What?
That's the worst thing ever.
It's brought a lot of great things, and we have this podcast because of it. We have a platform, but there comes a lot of there's a lot of cons that come with it as well.
You want to be a caveman, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. I would like to reside and sit back sipping on some lemonade in a rural area with no internet access. But it's hard to because that's all I know now. So, but if it wasn't invented, I think I'd be good. And
I feel like you're
horseradish.
capping, Dylan.
And
I feel like you're
horseradish.
capping.
I don't like horseradish.
What?
He's-
That's some nasty stuff.
Horseradish is cold on oysters. That's the only time I eat it.
They call it
like
horseradish
it.
for a reason. Because only horses want it.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm dang sure not eating that.
You didn't know horseradish was a thing?
Jeff, I'll pay you $5 to eat it.
Boy,
I ain't
living
touching
in
that.
another-
Bro, if you
Is
ever,
it similar to radish?
I've never had radish. If you're ever sick,
So you don't eat radish was put on hot dogs, but you'll eat horse
That's
radish?
relish,
How
boy.
does that make sense?
This boy said.
Hey, I don't eat either.
Oh,
This
You
man,
gotta check me. Why you put a whole radish on there?
this
What's wrong
man.
with you?
Oh my god.
It's not always the M's and the R's either. Tell me the M's and the N's. That's enough.
Oh, I don't like that either. I don't like relish either, Jeff.
I don't need a relish. It's disgusting.
yeah.
All
But
right,
horseradish
man.
is good, like to clear up your sinuses. It's like a shot of liquor. Like them are
You
like
sound like an old person.
Sick, yeah.
I don't know, bro. If I could choose one thing to disinvent, I would say a 40-hour work week.
Facts.
this
Yeah.
is with time cards.
I don't know, bro. Why could 40? Why couldn't they just do like, I don't know, none?
How would you get paid?
Right?
Oh, you don't have a. I don't know, bro. You can go to work for 1 minute. You get paid.
1 minute.
Well, you can't accomplish anything in a minute.
Oh no, bro.
Nah,
By the time you walk up the stairs, it's right, time to go.
Nah, you've had those. Now you've had those days where you done all your daily responsibilities in 5 minutes, and you're like, all right, I got 7 hours and 55 minutes to go.
Well, like
I
5 days.
Never had that. I wish.
You know what I mean? Like a 5-day work week, but yeah, like something along those lines. Y'all know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Horseradish.
I ain't gonna have to Google that. I don't know what that is.
Also, Google this. Is disinvent a word?
Definitely not.
It is.
What?
Yeah, it is. It's like the proper term for uninvent. It's kind of
Really?
weird. Yeah.
Is that like the Hyatt dictionary, or is that like Merriam-Webster?
No, it's a
Is that
Webster dictionary.
Is that a Jamaican ting?
It's
Not at
patois.
all. Like if you type it in Google, like it'll actually bring up a definition for disinvent.
Mm.
Versus if you type in uninvent, it's gonna bring up like a Urban Dictionary or whatever. Like,
Okay,
I don't know.
okay, Jeff.
Crazy.
This man a Rhodes Scholar.
Sometimes,
What would you disinvent, Jeff?
man, I don't even know, bro. To be honest with you guys, like there's so many things, and like
You the one proposed the question. You don't know.
He didn't have time to
what
come
is
up
your
with an answer.
opinion?
He had to come up with the question.
question was
Oh,
for
I
you
don't got
guys.
time now. We got to record.
Nah, man, but like
It stumped me. I didn't know what to
I don't know, man. Like it's tough. Like in my opinion, like I want to go back to like the olden days where it's just like you're not really stressing about.
So when I said no internet,
no, you gotta keep the internet, bro. You gotta keep the internet, bro.
This
What
man.
the olden days?
Like,
used to pull up on the scooters outside.
Yeah, those are great
yeah,
days.
you know, where you just get to like relax and like you know you don't have to basically like just be like a kid again. You know, you don't have
Like
any
the-
responsibilities.
So basically, when the internet wasn't as sophisticated as it was now, admit it.
No,
This man.
Jeff was born in 1964.
He watched Lou Alcindor play.
I don't even know who that is.
My God, this man does not listen. Hey,
He don't.
Jeff, really quickly, tell Kiren. Like Kiren, you have to answer, but tell him what your other question was.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Jeff's random question of the day.
This is the last segment for episode 18, and it's yours again. This is like Kiren's day.
Hey, I'm honored.
Go ahead. We talked about it a little bit, but I really want you to get into it like full throttle. Why you think All American is goated?
All right, man. All American is a goated series. I'm gonna tell you why. So it surrounds a young man. His name is Spencer James. So this dude is basically from South Crenshaw. South Crenshaw is like a bad area. So he's balancing his life in Crenshaw with his life in Beverly Hills. So it's where he's playing football at now. And I don't know, man, it's just like a lot of drama and everything just like filled into it. But I just think that, I don't know, man, it just shows you the life in Crenshaw. And I don't know, like, you know, compared to a life in Beverly Hills. But in Beverly Hills, you still have your, you know, your problems there too. So I think he had to balance both. You know, he had to balance his home life with the drugs and everything like that, and then balance like his, you know, the higher side, I guess, like the football and everything like that. So I just feel like, you know, they put those two together. So I liked it, drama filled, and you know, they kind of got away from the football a little bit, but they're starting to bring it back in there.
I do like that point where you said that he went to Beverly Hills, and you think they're all just a bunch of affluent kids and rich kids, and they
But
have
they're
no
all
problems.
going through their own, you know, their own things.
Yeah,
as
different
well.
problems, but the same headache. Yeah, I like that. And it shows that athletes are not just athletes. There's a lot that they go through off the
Go
field.
through their stuff too, yeah.
But it's just too much, man. Come on now. This man,
Yeah.
he goes to Crenshaw like 8 times a day. He almost went back
He is
to
over there a
that
lot.
school.
True.
It's
Oh
just,
no.
Jeff,
I think,
you like the show, right?
To be called
I do like it.
Un-American.
I wouldn't say it's goated, but it is a good show. It's a lot of drama, and it's easy to kind of get into the characters and pretty much start binge watching it.
I watched the first episode of the first season, and I go a day.
Same, yeah.
I posted it on Snapchat. Everybody was like, "Oh, what you watching?" And then they would just post clips after that. I was like, "Y'all got to get on this show." I'm serious. I'm not, no BS.
Yeah, it's a real good show. I'm pretty excited for season 3 because the way season 2 ended,
Now that made me mad. I just wanted to push my TV.
yeah, it's heartbreaking. Just when you thought things were going good.
I'm telling you, it's the modern day good times. JJ come home. Daddy, I got a job. Oh!
Then somebody dies.
And then Florida come home. James, I got laid off. Oh, ain't we lucky we got him? That's how it ends. Like,
Damn.
and I love
Hey,
good times.
is a
Good
show,
times.
man.
Good times is goated, but it's just too
Up
much
and
going
down.
on. Yeah,
Up and down.
and I'm out.
That's how they
That's
keep
how
your
it is,
attention.
man. But it makes you so mad, the stuff that goes on. Like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, you really get into it.
And like
It's kind of
what?
like that Rick James meme, or is it Rick James? I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about, where he's like, yeah, with the long dreads and stuff.
Oh man,
I was watching Chappelle Show last night, and that's what he was doing.
I wish you had some dreads right now with some bees coming down. That would be perfect. But Kiren, you said you get heavily invested into the characters, and I do too. Like it really hurt me, and I don't want to go into too much detail because Albert, even though he's capping, he says that he's going to watch it at some point. He's going to come around to eventually watching it. And I already
5 years later.
spoiled a little bit of it for him, but it's not the worst spoil, so I won't get into too much detail. But there are some characters that are not on the show anymore, and it's heartbreaking. So that's probably why it hurt me too. But
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Don't say that.
I ain't gonna say anything.
I need a reminder.
Albert, really quickly, tell us why you couldn't, like, there was no connection. Why you just, all right, I'm turning this off after the opening credits.
It was nothing that grabbed me, honestly. It's like the same old story. Black guy, poor neighborhood, going to a rich white school. Well, not white school, a rich school. It was like it didn't like capture me. Like he's playing football, the same old story. Like it's nothing that really got my attention.
The story behind why he went there is crazy, bro.
Really, nothing at all in that show grabbed your attention.
He couldn't. He watched the opening credits and turned it off.
I'd rather watch Dawson's Creek again.
Oh my God! No, you didn't. This man.
All right, now you capping.
I don't want
Dawson's Creek's a good show, but
exactly.
I'm not going to
Not you too,
rewatch
Jeff.
that over.
Oh my
Dawson's
God!
Creek.
Sorry, these guys are canceled.
Yeah,
Dawson's Creek.
Yes,
Have you seen it?
exactly.
No, and I don't want to.
If you haven't seen it, then you cannot comment on it. It's a good show.
Albert just did it with All American. What you mean?
I watched
the opening credits.
I watched all those shows. Dawson's Creek, 90210. Not like in its entirety, like the whole series. So like 15 seasons, but I can't, man. I don't Gossip Girl. I can't watch any of that.
It's like watching a trailer. It's different. That's like watching the trailer of the show. It didn't interest me.
You think you know what's going on, but you don't.
No, you don't. You actually got to watch it. At least a couple episodes.
They didn't.
All right, I'm gonna give it one more chance. I'm gonna finish season 2 and see it. You guys are hyping up that ending, so I'm gonna see what it's like. And
wow, man.
And then I'm gonna finish it in time for season 3 to come around. It comes out in January.
January 18th, baby.
Is watching All American like watching the Cowboys every week? It's like just it gets your hopes up and then just boom.
All right, I think that question was directed to you.
No, it's not the same.
It's worse.
No.
Kiren probably boosting the show because he got a guest appearance on it next.
Got a cameo. Ooh, that was my elbow.
Yes, sir. Does he gonna walk in?
At the lunch table. Bro, this series is goated, man. You gotta watch it.
So you just heard Albert why he said Kiren, why he was hyping it up is because he thinks that he has a role on the show. And I was doing some research because you know that Guardians of the Galaxy versus Iron Man Thor, I didn't know what I was talking about. So I wanted to have something to back up whatever I talked about today. So I did a little research and I came across season 3. They had some promos and stuff. And I came across these photos for season 3. They had a cast and they have this new member on the show. And I was like, who is that? And it's Kiren. Kiren, why are you on the show?
Hey, man. Look, see, I know I told you I wasn't in the show, but I lied.
Man, you lied.
I'm not going to tell y'all what I'm doing in the show, but I'm in the show. So
I actually...
Jeffrey in there.
Tay Diggs
down there with the fedora on.
Tay Diggs. Hey, so Kiren actually read up on it, and they said that you were Tyrone Moore's cousin from out of town, and you're there to avenge your cousin. That's why you're on the show.
Oh yeah, man! About to pull out the blicky.
Pull out your Beretta.
So then they had another picture, and that's you. You're the villain on the show.
Hey, I got that money in my head. I
So
told you
you,
I'll pull out the blicky, man.
yeah, I didn't know you were on the show. Wow.
This
Good luck
man
to you
Jeff
on
took off
season
his
3.
glasses and was like, "They ain't gonna notice me."
Oh man.
Hey, it looked like that shirt he was wearing in the God, what episode? Episode 15?
I was smiling in that picture because
Oh yeah.
I just picked a
Episode
pocket right next to me. That's what
Jeff was wearing that Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, Kyle, you're the antagonist on the show. So
That's
I'm
right.
definitely tuning in for season 3. I gotta support you and what you're doing.
Facts.
Just don't leave pod ties. Do not leave, even if you blow up in
no,
Hollywood.
man.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah, give us a shout out.
Facts. Be recording.
Yeah, wear one of those pod tie shirts during one of the episodes.
Plug.
All right, that's a wrap. Episode 18. Next week will be fun because we have that mock draft and getting ready for NBA season, and Thanksgiving is approaching. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna eat. About to make my menu pretty soon. So yeah, great episode. Before my brothers and I let you go, we need you to do 3 things. If you haven't done already, if you're returning and you have done it, this is not for you. Well, actually, there are 2 things we would like you to do. Share and comment. Comment on the episodes. Let us know what topics you would like for us to discuss. In future episodes, we'll definitely do our best to cover it. And just share it with friends, friends and family. Get as many people to join the gang, the Posters gang. Now, those 3 things. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Pod Ties. Smash, smash, smash the like button that you see on the screen. Give us a thumbs up and that notification bell. We need you to destroy it. So those 3 things for our viewership. Now, if you're a listener, you can stream our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. And dun dun dun, world premiere. We're on 3 more. We're on 3 more streaming platforms. Amazon Music,
Ooh.
Damn.
What?
iHeart Radio,
What?
I love
and
that.
tune in. So you can say tune in to our podcast. So, as Jeff said earlier, we're worldwide. We're global. Or I don't know if you said that. Maybe Albert said it or Kyra. One of y'all said
Nah, I
it.
said it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can listen to our lovely voices on pretty much every streaming platform out there.
What does the janitor say when he jumps out of the closet?
The janitor. Hold on. Sometimes you say a little bit too fast. Let us think about it for a little bit.
Hey Siri.
Clean this up.
Supplies.
I'm just playing. What?
What?
Supplies. Get like surprise,
What?
but
How-
supplies.
Oh no.
Oh my! What in the world, man?
It shouldn't have surprised y'all that was going to be extremely corny.
Oh no.
So this also won't surprise you. With that
That
said,
was cornier than corny.
we are Pod Ties. Peace, Podsters. Keep them ties strong.
Pew, pew.